Good morning, my fellow yogi travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. Well, it's a story day, and this is my favorite ones from the Hasidic tradition. Once there was a monastery that had fallen upon hard times, and as a result of the order, no one had signed up for decades. And they knew that the 1500-year tradition was about to come to an end, and they were very sad about it, anguished, in fact. They didn't know what to do. But having meditated for 40 or 50 years, you develop a little psychic power. And there was a local rabbi who had a hut in the woods, and every time he would come and meditate, they would look at each other and say, "Hey, the rabbi's in the woods, the rabbi's in the woods." And they thought, why don't we go and ask the rabbi? Maybe the rabbi has some advice. So the head abbot went, knocked on the hut of the rabbi. They'd never met each other before, and the rabbi was thrilled to see him. He said, come in, come in. We'll have a little tea, we'll have a little cake, we'll talk. He says, I'm not here for a social call, Rabbi. He says, well, what is it? He says, I can't get anybody to come and join our order, and we're afraid that we're going to completely dissolve. Do you have any suggestions? The rabbi said, are you kidding? I can't even get 10 men for a minyan myself. So they sat down, they read the Torah, they read the Holy Scriptures, they cried, they told stories, they laughed, they had some tea, they had some cake, and that was all that happened. And so as he got up to go out, he said to the rabbi, is there nothing you can tell me? The rabbi said, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And just as he was about to close the door, he said, oh, by the way, one among you is the Messiah. One among you is the Messiah. And he closed the door. It hit him like a shockwave. So when the abbot got back to the monastery, they were saying, so did the rabbi say anything? He's having the same problems we are. He can't get anybody to come and build up his congregation either. So we sat, we read the Torah, we cried, we told stories, we had some tea and cake. And then as I was about to leave, he said this most enigmatic thing to me. He said, one among you is the Messiah. What do you think he meant by that? So in the next few days and weeks, they were all contemplating this enigmatic response from the rabbi. And of course, first they thought, well, it must be the head abbot. He's been the leader of a generation. He said, no, maybe it's brother Thomas. I mean, he's always buried his face in the Holy Scriptures. Wouldn't maybe Brother Eldred? I mean, he's a crotchety old bastard, but you know what? He's always right. And what about Philip? He's so quiet, so passive. Maybe it's Philip. And even though it seems to be like a nobody, he's always there when you need him. And so they all started thinking this way. And then the last monk thought, I know this is a crazy thing to think, but God's such a cosmic joker. Who am I to tell God who should be a Messiah or whatever? Maybe I'm the one. And so because each one of them were looking at the others as if they could possibly be the Messiah, a new kind of brotherly love and respect started emanating from them toward each other. Now, their grounds were very beautiful, and every Sunday people would come out from the town and picnic on their grounds. But now, as they came out, there was a new vibration, a new extension of peace, a new emanation of clarity that attracted people. And then very soon, young men started talking to the monks, and then one would join, and after a while, more would join. And then very soon, they had an order that was thriving again from the blessing of the rabbi's gift. So when you look at people, you never know. They could be the one. And then on the off chance that you could be the one, maybe you got to respect yourself in a very different way. So if you would maintain, first develop and then maintain a gaiety of spirit, you have to find what I call marvelous purposelessness in your life. That means one part of you has to be completely free from human plots and schemes. And although you can absorb information by reading it, to comprehend what I would call the mysticism connected to these teachings, you have to do sadhana, as they say in yoga. And sadhana means some discipline in nonverbal perception. And you have to do it without seeking a result in the future. Find your path. The way to the one is as many as the way of people, as there are people. And see through the social fiction of the ego, which is essentially the part of you that can't even seek it, let alone attain it. And just accept the fact that just like an apple tree apples and a planet peoples, and you can hardly think that the energy field that makes intelligent people is less intelligent than the people it makes. So transform yourself by living it out. And after a while, you probably heard all the most important messages I have to say because they're kind of redundant. So that's time for you to hang up the phone. And I like to think of myself as a physician that wants to put myself out of business by making you so healthy you don't require me anymore. I'm not a minister where you have to stop by every week for some kind of spiritual entertainment. That ain't happening. So I hope you continue to look at your own private life with tremendous curiosity, in-depth scrutiny, and love and compassion for the beautiful being that you are.